First there was the chicken, then the egg. No, the egg, then the chicken. Actually, first was dinosaurs. Before they became chickens, they started out as dinosaurs, and then after millions of years of evolution, they slowly became chickens. Then humans came along and domesticated chickens for food, and soon thereafter we had boiled, cooked, stewed, and finally, nuggets. But see, this wasn't far enough, because in 1993, as a special promotion for a little movie known as Jurassic Park, chicken giant Perdue produced their now iconic nugget, the dinosaur nugget. And yet a trace of the true self still exists in the false self. It was a meme a couple of years ago that was like making fun of the seemingly pretentious attempt to find invisible ties across time and space. Like the dinosaur becoming a chicken only to become a symbol of a dinosaur. But like the thing that it's seemingly trying to parody, the meme itself contains its own painfully real truth hidden behind the joke. Under all those layers of context and contortion and performance, somewhere beneath all of the rubble exists a desire to be what we are. Beneath the mask of this meme contains a deep frustration with not being able to be what we are. Or maybe it's just like a joke about chicken nuggets. When I was a kid, I loved dinosaur chicken nuggets. I would pretend like the nuggets were real dinosaurs and like the little pieces of broccoli were miniature trees, and I'd make the dinosaurs eat the trees. I would play endless pretend games with my sibling, and we would play dress up and get lost in magical worlds. And I was always like really bad at falling asleep, so I would stay up until the super early hours of the morning just reading as many fantasy books as I could get my hands on and then drawing everything that I saw. And I would look around everywhere, in the woods, on the street, in department store floors for cool little rocks and sticks and items that looked like talismans and magical amulets and swords and wands and staves, so that I could prove that magic was real. I don't know, I guess at some point I stopped. Why don't you go ahead and start by introducing yourself to the camera? Hi. My name is Franklin, and I'm Jonah's first and favorite stuffed animal from when he was a kid. So Franklin, what was it like to be a beloved stuffed animal? Well, everyone has a me. I never left his side. All his hopes and dreams were funneled into me. I contain every ounce of love a little kid can make. And, maybe a little bit of snot and drool, but comes with the territory, What is it about childhood that's so special? Why do we all yearn to go back to those days? Well, I guess it's because you play. Children don't have to pretend to be anything other than what they are. There's no mask to wear, no role to play, just boundless wonder and curiosity. And when you grow up, people stop playing. Why? Well, to a lot of folks, childhood's, it's a phase. It's a thing you're supposed to overcome. Overcome it? Sure. At a certain point, kids stop putting on costumes and looking for jewels on department store floors. They stop hiding in clothing racks and running around. There are no dragons in science class. No enchanted forests in calculus. So then, what? It's not like people tell you not to play. Why do they stop? Easy. They forget the rules. What are the rules? Well, just one rule. Infinite games. In his 1986 book, Infinite Games and Finite Games, James P. Carse talks about how there are two types of games that you can play in life, and most of us are playing the wrong kind. The first kind of game is called a finite game. These are games that are meant for the only purpose of being won. There are fixed rules, set players, and a clear goal. In finite games, you play for only one reason, and that reason is to win, and our world is made up almost exclusively of finite games. You make a painting to sell it, You go to class so that you can get an A. You play baseball so that you can get a home run. There are only two ways of finishing a finite game: to win or to lose. Now, the other kind are infinite games. Infinite games have no rules, no objectives, and they can be played virtually forever. And the only real purpose of playing an infinite game is to just have fun. There's no way to win it or lose it because there's nothing to gain from it. The only thing that you gain from it is enjoying yourself. Instead of the painter painting so that they can sell one of their pieces of work, the painter just paints because it's fun. The painter could paint until their hands don't work anymore. The dancer could dance until their knees give out. The group of friends playing baseball could play as many games as they want, as long as they're having fun. The only point of infinite games is to simply enjoy yourself. It's a simple concept, but exceedingly rare to find. And it makes you wonder how many of the things that you've pursued in your life have been to the end of having a good time, enjoying yourself, or to gain something. When I was 19 and moved out to LA to pursue film, I was initially playing an infinite game. I loved acting and I loved making films. These were my two favorite things in the world. But once I started to try and do them to make money and grow an audience, I was no longer playing an infinite game. I was playing a finite game. I locked myself into this finite game where there were rules and restrictions. And I think once that happens, that is the death of fun and creativity. And I think so many artists do this. In fact, I think that anyone who has ever loved something and then tried to pursue it has done this. You stop playing and you start competing. If you asked me when I was 14 why I wanted to pursue film, I would have just said because it was fun and because I wanted to be like the filmmakers I admired. I would have said that I wanted to be like them because even though they were adults, they still got to play pretend. And if you had asked me when I fully burnt out what the point of making videos was, if I had been answering honestly, I would have said because I needed to make money. And as time went on, the longer I did all of this without playing, it all became fake. The videos I made were just tools to get rent money. The stories that I came up with were just ways to impress producers. My energy was just like a tool to get me cast in something. I started to feel like that breakaway glass that you see in movies or those Potemkin villages you see on the Warner Brothers lot. Just like a prop. Person playing pretend as a person playing pretend. Somewhere in all of that, I forgot even how to play in the first place. And at a certain point, just the idea of trying to play pretend filled me with deep dread, especially when money was tight, which it always was. I would wake up every single morning and think, I want to do it, but I also hate it. I was completely frozen and unable to get myself to do anything, so I did what most artists do when they are in a position like that, and I burnt out. I went home, and the finite game ended, and I'd lost. I got a job at a bar, and then a corporation, and then another corporation, and I convinced myself that there was no more magic in the world, no more play. I was the chicken nugget. I think artists are just people who want to play like kids. But when you kick the kid out of the driver's seat, suddenly you're the chicken nugget. An echo of an echo, the truth barely visible. It's not playing. It's surviving. The only thing worse than him leaving childhood behind was watching him leave the child in himself behind. So that's it. He just grew up and quit. He just lived a lie and pretended to be something he wasn't? Is that all of us? We just leave the infinite games behind and life is crap? Well, I sure hope not. He gets a choice. We all do. Sure, he could do that. Or he could remember what he was the whole time. And what was that? A kid who wanted to look for rocks and sticks. A kid who was so enchanted by the world that it captured his little brain. Well, did he find him? The little boy? Can you ever get that back? Look, I'll tell you a secret. You never really lose the part of you that loves to play. I don't think he ever even needed to rediscover it. Therapy makes it seem like there's this big journey you need to go on, but the truth is this. You could spend a lifetime being serious, hating your life, convinced the fun is gone, but the literal moment you figure out how to separate all that pressure from playing, it all comes back like that.